good morning. Dodging hobos and oh my gosh, these new bars make this feel like an entirely new bike. Well, anyways, guys, it's Saturday, February 11th, and we are out testing out the new bars. We finally got a break in the damn rain. And it's not just rain either, it's icy cold rain. Well, I haven't quite found the balance on these new bars yet. It's a little it's more responsive. It feels less sluggish. So every time I go to lean over, it feels like it's too easy to lean over. Nothing I can't get used to, but definitely different. One of my biggest concerns with the new bars was if I raised it up a little bit, I thought my arms and my hands would be in the way, and they are. The grips obscure probably half of the mirrors. I can still use them, they're just smaller. So over the winter, well, it's still kind of winter, but we have this nice little break in between. Over the last couple of months, I've ordered new bars, put them on, as you can see, and they look great, they feel amazing. Oh, best upgrade ever. I do have a new camera mount coming for the rear view mount. This one's a little too tall, way too much shake. And now that I don't have to be able to look over the fairing if I wanted to put it in dash cam mode, I can go ahead and get a smaller one. So that's what I did. It'll be here, and well, probably before the rain stops again. And the weather forecast, it's been raining almost solid for a month. Rain and snow, ice mix. And there's 2 days. This weekend is going to be nice, and then Monday and Tuesday are going to be freaking amazing, but I have to work, so that's out of the question. I did also get a new visor and pin lock for the helmet, as you can see my face clearly now. Oh man, what a difference. All those little micro scratches and like dug in bug guts and just everything. The old one was so terrible. This is so much nicer. So next week the rain comes back, and it looks like rain from then on. Cold, near freezing rains. Temperatures below freezing at night. Just nasty weather. So this is going to be my one day to get out, do some riding, enjoy the hell out of this bike. Oh man, I missed it so much. I think this is, since I've started riding again, this has been the longest period of time that I've gone without riding. Almost 4 months, I think. Anyway, I wanted to tell you about the installation. So, my last video you saw, I titled it Amateur Install, and I am by no means a professional. And it shows in my efforts to install the the bars. So, tearing it apart was easy. No problems. And then I didn't run into any problems until I tried to put the wires back through the new bars. On the stock bars, only the throttle position wire goes through, and the right heated grip wires, I think, are the other wires that aren't connected to anything. But in the stock bars, it's a nice gentle swooping curves, and it was pretty easy getting them out. On the new bars with this nice little 90-degree bend there, it was rather difficult. Not only did well, I spent probably 3 hours trying to get it through. I could only get one of the plastic plugs off, the big one. There was a second smaller plastic clip that I couldn't figure out how to get off, and I didn't want to destroy it. And so I tried wrapping it up with tape, and I was concerned about pulling too hard on the wires, because I certainly didn't want to destroy the wires themselves. So I'm going to get close to the edge here. Actually, I should ride down to the park. Look how high that water is. That is just insane. Jesus, what is the major malfunction here? It's Saturday, for God's sake. All right. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So it took 3 hours to get the wires through. I ended up having to wrap them in electrical tape, and then wax the electrical tape and the string and everything so that it was kind of lubricated. And then finally, after about 15-20 minutes of doing that, I finally did get the throttle wire through. I sat back, had a vape, looked at it, and realized, shit, I gotta fit more wires in there. Maybe I should have run them together or something, but... And then the wires were taking up so much room in the handlebars that I couldn't get the string through. The nut that I was using to pull the string through initially was now too big. So I had to dig around. I found some old fishing weights and some fishing line, ran that through, then dragged the string through so that I could try to drag the other clip through. Now at this point, since I realized that they were going to have to be waxed up to begin with, I was able to wrap those in electrical tape and wax and get those through within probably another 15-20 minutes. After that, the other side was pretty easy actually. So this side, the clutch side, well, that's just one clip, so one small clip. Wow, look at that. That is a lot of water. Don't even need a boat ramp anymore. Yeah, so obviously we've got quite a bit of rain lately. So after I took my break from doing the wires, I think I had lunch or something, and then I went back to put everything back together, and the bushings are a lot thicker than the stock bushings, and I know they compress a little bit, but the hard part was getting the initial bushings, in initially. I could barely get the bolts to thread until I, tightened them down, but I ended up cross-threading one of them. Not far, mind you. I know I've worked on many a cars. I've cross-thread many bolts. I know better. I know what it feels like. I know how to fix it. So I ended up having to pull everything back apart and fix the cross thread, and then try to put everything back together. Having to re-sandwich the bushings before finishing, I had to put everything back together and then take one bolt out at a time and apply the thread locker so that it didn't work its way loose. Well, anyway, so that took about an hour or so, trying to make sure I didn't mess anything up. Cleaned all the threads, got everything fixed, got everything back together. I got to the part where you can see the bars, and I put the fairing back closer, and then I realized afterwards that I didn't unwind because the brake and the hydraulic lines for the brakes and the clutch were twisted. Yeah, I mean, not really twisted, but they twist them up just so they don't flop around. And I didn't untwist them. Well, I couldn't get the hydraulic line for the clutch line to reach. So I ended up having to take everything back apart, untwist the lines, and because I had already had everything bolted down, adjusted, and tightened, I'd taken the towel off the tank. Big mistake. I dropped the frickin' hydraulic, the clutch. It swung down and dented the tank. I was so pissed. After crying about that for a little while, I got everything back together, got everything straightened out, got all the wires done, and I was done. Took the picture, recorded the last video, and you can probably tell I sounded pretty damn tired by that time. I think I started roughly at noon, and I finished about 10 o'clock at night. And I wasn't working on it all the time, you know, I took a whole bunch of breaks and everything, but that was a hell of a job. There we go, another good look. Quite crazy. All right. Yeah. Definitely improved the looks. It's like a whole new bike. All right, guys. Catch you next time.